shows weakness. So be it.
You're all probably wondering how the hell we ended up in this situation. Well, we have to go back many months to just after I made things right with Clementine. I was thinking long and hard for about a week as to whether I should tell Clementine about my double life as Polar Plunger. Then a certain Yeti returned. This time said Yeti was fueled by revenge over what happened in January of that year. Things went a bit better for me in our second fight, and I even learned his name, Ugertel. Still, I was outmatched, especially since I was on my own. That was until Clementine showed up again. I had my mask ripped off by this point, so I was about to panic, having no idea what to do, but she told me there was no need to worry. I was about to ask why, but then realized we still had the fight to win. Long story short there, we prevailed, but not only did Ugertel get away, but I had the black guy by the end. Clementine was able to answer my question from earlier though, saying that my secret was safe with her. When I got home, it was really late, and my parents demanded to know what happened. I tried lying my way out of it, but eventually had to come clean about my double life. They were not happy. Not just because I put myself in life-threatening situations, but also due to me committing both vigilantism and breaking and entering. The latter being when Lara and I had to find a place for Freezy to hide. That's not to mention how we just left her there in someone's chest freezer, even if she is a snow person. Not only did they ground me by putting me under house arrest outside of school for a month, but cut me off from communicating with the outside world. They even called Larry's parents and Clementine's guardians about the vigilantism bit. So they were punished too. I was irate from all this to the point that when there was a news story about a magical chicken raiding a foundry several days later, I disobeyed my parents to go stop her, telling them that they could punish me however they pleased afterwards. It was there when I saw a familiar face. It turned out that Rex, one of Clementine's guardians, was the real-life Ben 10 this whole time, but he ran off before I could ask him any questions. Meanwhile, my parents extended my punishment to the end of high school, then installed security cameras in my room saying I lost their trust. It wasn't until I disobeyed them once more and saved the town in the process that they realized there was no stopping me from doing what's right. I do take responsibility for leaving Freezy behind though, even if she turned out alright.
I was pretty mad when Rex and the others grounded me for working with Nick and all that, because this was the same guy who decided it was okay for me to help him in crime fighting during my free time. Rex said it was to keep our double lives from being revealed, but it was still hypocritical and annoying. Thankfully, they lifted my punishment once Nick was allowed to be Polar Plunger again, under the condition we keep the secrets of our double lives under lock and key. Which we did, for the most part.
After leaving Kinsville University, I made myself a secret home in the mountains and became self-sufficient in terms of growing food, powering my abode, and more. It was especially important I kept my location secret, as I otherwise would have been arrested for vigilantism, since many of my heroics were, in a sense, just that. Furthermore, I came to learn that this new world I was living in was far worse than before. The culture of the world I was born into was one of compassion and cooperation. If someone was in dire need of a life-saving operation, it was given with no strings attached. If a business had excess foodstuffs at the end of a season, they were required to donate it to the public free of charge. The culture of the world I live in now is anything but that, and I've learned that if you even tried to voice your opposition to such tyranny of the few, you'd be destroyed, either subtly or blatantly. I at first worked with the police to stop the criminals of this newer age. Soon enough, though, I realized that they were part of that very same tyranny, the tyranny of the few, and ceased my support. I changed my priorities to that of sabotaging and preventing many of their schemes from completely unfolding. While this made me loved by the masses, such good deeds also put me in the crosshairs of the tyranny. It was then when a wealthy black and white cheeky dog named Wilson Whiff made an offer. If I were to stop combating the tyranny, he would use his political influence to make the authorities look the other way. I refused. A few months later, we all ended up working together for the first time. More specifically, it was against this serpentine dragon named Yuan Su and his right-hand chicken, Kuijai. Yuan Su was the one who costed Spike Plate everything. That, and planned on using his revived magical powers for global conquest. To make a very long story short, the battle devastated Kinsville, but we eventually defeated Yuan-Su, but not before Kuijai swapped sides, then sacrificed herself to narrowly win the fight. However, Spike Plate was then framed for the world domination thing. Thankfully, the guy behind the frame-up was exposed about a week later. That guy was Wilson Whiff, and he offered all of us wealth, penthouses, yachts, military bases, and so on if we called everything off and joined his side. After what he did, screw that, this fucker's going down! Oh, and I also unlocked Master Control in my Omnitrix. Don't ask me how.
You son of a...
Clementine's right. Here, let me help you guys up. As cliche as it sounds, we need to truly work together, like we've done so previously. Then gotta come up with a plan quick! Alright then, here's my plan. Alright team, let's move! It's good I have a backup plan! Oh, shit. That'll do. You were Mr. Tutton, man! Finally, a new model of the digitizer is done. At last. Alright, Clementine, got everything you need?
Yep. You all. Thank you so much for everything!